Good morning to all. Now, in the previous session, just we started solving university questions on power and energy signals. Now, the remaining problems just we are going to do in this session. 4 more problems are there. We are discussing all these 4 problems in this session. Now, the third question, what is one of the repeated questions is that x of t is equal to t times u of t. For every question, verify whether it is a power signal or an energy signal. Now, here it doesn't contain trigonometric, it doesn't contain periodic terms. Periodic terms means what? Sine, cos. It doesn't contain periodic terms. Therefore, not a power signal. It is not a power signal. It is not a power signal. Next, we have to calculate for what? Energy signal. Therefore, energy signal, that is equal to integral minus infinity to infinity of the given signal x of t square dt. Here, because of the inner function is square means even function, it will become 2 times integral 0 to infinity of this. What is this? T becomes t square, and unit step function u of t becomes mod square of dt. As said before, u of t, the output t value is equal to 1. Therefore, this will become 2 times of integral 0 to t of t square dt. So 2 times integrating t cube by 3 between 0 to infinity. This will become 2 times of infinity, output infinity. Here one more point, it is infinity but not less than infinity. If it were less than infinity, energy signal, otherwise not energy signal. Therefore, it is not energy signal. It is not energy signal. At the same time, in the previous one, it is not a power signal. It is not a power signal. So, this signal is neither energy nor power signal. That is the output of this one. Let us go for the next problem. Now, in the third one, see, look at, now next problem is x of n is equal to minus 0.5 whole power n into u of n. Now, here suddenly one change is emerged. In the previous case, we discussed small t continuous. Here, discrete question is given because n is present here, discrete question. Now, just look at here, it doesn't contain trigonometric terms, Therefore, no trigonometric means what? It is not a power signal. It is not a power signal because it doesn't contain any trigonometric terms. Next, we are checking for energy, whether it is energy signal or not. We have to check it. Now, next, for energy calculation, in continuation, we are using minus infinity to infinity, but in discrete, we use summation minus infinity to infinity. That is the only difference. So, energy, we are using summation sigma minus into infinity of x of n whole square. So this is equal to summation minus infinity to infinity. What you got? Whole square means what? Minus 0.5 whole power 2n. n becomes 2n, and this becomes mod un square. Again, mod un square. Value equal to how much? 1. Therefore, this will become summation minus infinity to infinity whole square. Square 2 is there. 2 means plus 0.5 will become 0.25. 0.5 whole square equal 0.25 whole power n. Now, it is of the form, it is of the form x power n. X power n value equal to 1 by 1 minus x in algebra. 1 by 1 minus x. So summation of sigma x power n is 1 by 1 minus x. In this way, this will become minus infinity to infinity 0.25 whole power n value will become 1 by 1 minus 0.25. This is 1 by 0.75. This value equal to 4 by 3. 4 by 3 means less than infinity. Therefore, in this problem, the given signal, the energy is what? Less than infinity, but not infinity. Therefore, it is an energy signal. This is called what? This is an energy signal. How can we say energy signal? In the previous one, it is not a power signal. So now we tested for energy signal. It was proved its output got is less than infinity. Therefore, it is an energy signal. Now, let us do another problem. Next problem. X of n is equal to, x of n is equal to, this is equal to u of n. Now just look at, like in the previous case, again not continuous, it is a discrete signal. So what is the first one? It is a discrete signal. Next one, it doesn't contain trigonometric, so it is not power signal. It is not a power signal. Now just we are checking for what? Energy signal. Whether it is energy signal or not, we have to check it. So now, for in case of energy signal, the output could be minus infinity to infinity. So this becomes x of n square. So this will becomes minus infinity to infinity. Its value u of n mod square. But since mod u of n square equal to 1 square, 1 square means equal to 1. So ultimately the output is minus infinity to infinity. What we get? 1 square. Whenever there is 1 square, there is a formula. Make it a point in limits. You know already paper 1B intermediate you did it. So for this purpose you have to make a formula limit n tends to infinity 1 by 2n plus 1 of n plus 1. Look at, whenever you get sigma 1 of 1 between minus infinity to infinity, you have to make it. Now after, just look at, this is equal to limit n tends to infinity. Here in the numerator n, take n common. This is equal to 1 plus 1 by n. In the denominator, what is there? 2n plus 1. Take n as common. This will become 2 plus 1 by n. Now this becomes, wherever there is n, replace it by infinity. This n cancels. So whenever 1 by infinity becomes, this 1 by n becomes 0, this 1 by n becomes 0. The output is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 means what? It is less than infinity. Therefore, in the previous one, in the first detection, in the first instance itself, we found that it is not a power signal. Now we calculate for energy. As per the calculation, we got the output less than infinity. Therefore, what kind of signal is this? This is an energy signal. This is an energy signal. Okay. Now, next one, the last one, just we are making. The next problem, another discrete signal is given. X of n is equal to 2 times e power I 3n. Here I or j. In electronics we write j. j3n. Now just look at, this problem is given. Again, it is a discrete one. It is a discrete signal. Discrete signal. Now expand. X of n is equal to, it contains imaginary. So its value equal to 2 times e power I theta. That means cos 3n plus j sin 3n. Therefore, this signal contains trigonometric terms. Therefore, this trigonometric terms, therefore it is a periodic signal. periodic signal. That means we have to calculate for what? Only power, not energy. Therefore, here we are calculating for power. Calculating for power. Now just look at. Now here summation 0 to t, or you can write it 0 to t, or minus infinity to infinity you can write, but in that case we have to pay the limit 1 by t. Both are same. That is equal to 4 whole square. Just we have to make it x of n whole square. X of n whole square. Otherwise you can make it minus infinity to infinity. If you keep in terms of t, divide by t here. Limit t tends to infinity, 1 by t, like that. Otherwise directly go for minus infinity to infinity calculation. Now just this will become minus infinity to infinity whole square 4 into mod square means what? Square root of cos square 3n plus sin square 3n of square. That is mod. Mod of a trigonometric signal means you have to make it mod square root of square of each real part plus square of imaginary part. Now this will become sin square theta plus cos square theta, that is equal to 1. Therefore 4 is constant. Here we will make minus it to infinity. Again we get 1 square. So now just look at, just as applied in the previous case, in this case how to calculate limit n tends to infinity, it will become 2n plus 1 of n plus 1. Now just as we calculated in the previous case, we got what output for this? We got 1 by 2. So instead of calculating this directly, I am keeping 1 by 2. So this output equal to 4 times 1 by 2, that equal to value equal to 2. This is less than infinity. Therefore it is less than infinity. Therefore this is what signal? Power signal. It is a power signal. Since power is equal to less than infinity but not equal to infinity, not equal to infinity, therefore the signal is a power signal. The signal is a power signal. Again just I am repeating, look at, whenever there is exponential with imaginary number is given, expand it, e power I theta. E power I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. I means j sin theta. Now in that way we come to know that it is visible. This signal contains trigonometric terms, one or more trigonometric terms. Whenever trigonometric terms are present, those signals are called what? Periodic signals. Whenever it is periodic signal, directly we have to calculate for power, not for energy. Directly we calculated. That too, the signal is given discrete way, not a continuous way. It is small n, not a small t. So immediately we calculated power. Just look at square. The moment we get the square under root becomes 1 square. 4 is constant. We kept 4 out of the signal. Now just look at, whenever there is 1 square in discrete signal, we have to make it a limit formula, limit n tends to infinity. Here n means uppercase n. Uppercase n infinity. 1 by 2n plus 1 by 2n. 2n plus 1 into n plus 1. Upon substituting the value for n tends to infinity, we will get a numeric value of 1 by 2. 1 by 2 in the constant 4. Output is 2. 2 means what? A simple numeric value less than infinity. Therefore, what we assumed? A periodic signal. We assumed for the testing of power. Now here the power signal is proved itself because it got a value less than infinity. Therefore, it is a power signal. As long as we are calculating for power signal, no need to calculate for energy. Whenever we are calculating for energy, no need to calculate for power. So these are the repeated problems that are being asked in university, OU university examinations. One more point, the signal could be either power signal or energy signal or neither. But a signal cannot become simultaneous at the same time power as well as signal. No signal will be power as well as signal. Either power signal or energy signal or none, but cannot be both. That point students have to remember. They can never be both, either power or signal. All periodic signals are power signals, or trigonometric terms are periodic. That was important thing. So here all 5 problems what are being repeated in OU end semester examinations are solved here. In the next session we are going to begin with coefficient of approximation. Thank you.